So when you want to install one of these in-wall toilet carriers, then at some point you have to make the decision of how high you want your toilet seat to be. And you do that by adjusting the feet here on the bottom of the carrier by just pulling them out or pushing them in. But to know exactly how far you have to pull those feet out, that can be a little tricky, so I want to show you how that's done. So there's a couple of things we need to consider. First, there's the condition of your floor. So usually your carrier is sitting on a 2x4, and this 2x4 may be not on the same level as your finished floor. So you need to consider if your 2x4 is sitting underneath or above your finished floor. Then we need to consider the type of toilet bowl which we are using. Depending on the model, the distance between the mounting bolts and the top of the rim is going to be different. And at last we have to think of the toilet seat that we're going to mount on the toilet bowl. But of course, we also have to know how high we want the toilet seat to be. So in this example, I'm taking a height of 17.5 inches. But how do we get there? I start out by subtracting the thickness of the toilet seat from those 17.5 inches. A toilet seat is usually about 1 inch thick, so I'm just going to subtract 1 inch. Next, we are going to measure the distance from the holes for the mounting rods to the top of the toilet bowl. In this case, this would be 4 inches. In case you don't have your toilet bowl yet, you can usually look up the specification for this bowl and find that number in there. And now let's have a look at the 2x4 that the carrier is going to sit on. It's also called the bottom plate, and we have to check the level compared to the finished floor, so to your tiling. In my case here, the floor sits about half an inch above this 2x4, so now that means I have to add half an inch. So now we end up with 13 inch, which is our final result. But what does that really mean? So it's really easy. So the 13 inch is the distance from the bottom of the feet of the carrier all the way up to the mounting bolts where you are going to mount the toilet bowl at. And this was already it. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful. And if you have any questions, then please leave a comment below. And don't forget to check out my other in-wall carrier installation videos.